Jersey's waterfront and skyline is transforming as banks move from disparate locations into a distinct financial centre. The financial crisis of 2008 to 2011 hit the island's banks hard as jobs were lost, but fortunes have since been reversed. Currently, the island is riding a wave of optimism in banking. But should we be cautious about any revival? Or are we genuinely seeing a new stage of development of Jersey as a centre for banking and wealth management? We put these questions to Amy Bryant, Deputy Chief Executive of Jersey Finance. We've seen a lot of investment from Jersey's banks. We can see the two IFC buildings just outside your headquarters here. What's fueling this demand?
Jersey made a strategic decision to invest with the development in the town centre of the International Finance Centre. And that's provided the opportunity for a number of the big brands, the big banks, to move and relocate into the centre. But you're also right that we're seeing a lot of investment from other banks into new buildings and new infrastructure in Jersey. And I think that's a really positive indicator of what they're seeing around the competitiveness of Jersey as an IFC into the future. It's showcasing that we've got a competitive platform, that we're relevant, that we're innovative. Also, I think it's about efficiency. So we've seen banks be on the hunt for efficiency stemming back right from the financial crisis. And I think perhaps consolidating from a number of premises into one, into more modern buildings is just part of that.
The financial crisis which you refer to, Amy, 2008 to 2011, it was a tough time here for Jersey's banks. Jobs were lost. Are we now in some kind of banking renaissance, would you say?
I think there's lots and lots of opportunity. If we look at the fundamentals that makes Jersey an international finance centre, they're strong. We've got a great deal of depth and expertise within the finance industry. We've got a strong fiscal, economic and political situation, which is always very attractive, particularly to the banking centre. I also think if we look outside of banking, if we look at our other sectors, private wealth management, capital markets, funds, all those parts of the financial ecosystem which don't operate independently, they're all very buoyant as well. And so I think that plays really strongly into the future of banking in Jersey. I think one of the things that's really important is that when we're thinking about the market segments that we serve, and particularly Jersey is focused on high net worth individuals, and there's lots of growth actually within that sector, the geographies we're active in are important, and Jersey's long pursued a strategy of geographic diversification and pursuing growth market. One of the things that is really important for Jersey is maintaining our international reputation and complying and adhering, and indeed on occasion excelling in terms of international standards. And that's important because we want to know who we're doing business with. We want to make sure it's good business.
With this international reach and international reputation, you're a Crown dependency, so the UK has always looked after your interests. It's been a big brother within the EU. Will you feel more isolated now that Brexit's about to take place?
So Brexit is a significant event for both the EU and the UK. For Jersey, Jersey isn't part of the EU now, and it's actually not part of the UK either. And what that means is that Jersey is already a third country to the EU. And so from that perspective, our relationships with the EU are secure. They are what they are today, will be what they are day one plus Brexit, as it were. We're obviously very keen to remain a good neighbour to the EU, part of the British family, but we're also looking at growth markets for opportunity.
Are there any other challenges which concern you here in Jersey for the banking sector?
The first would be around something that's not a challenge that is limited to Jersey, but it's around profitability and productivity. I think that's a challenge for banks more generally, particularly in Europe. And the other challenge I would point to is around digital. And so actually, It's a challenge, but it can also be part of the solution to that first problem. We've got the aspiration to be the easiest IFC to do business with remotely in a digital age.